is 211, and he just looks great at this weight class. I mean, he's going to grow into it over the life of his, there. But this young man was in Russia last week, all right, wrestling against some of the best in the world.
Still with the #1 ranking in the world, Kyle Snyder.
Asked him if he had any jet lag, and he said, yeah, for the first couple of days. They have to have him coming back, but seemed to be in really good spirits. And this guy just loves to compete. Some people were a little bit surprised that he decided to come back. I'm not, because I just like the way, you can just kind of sense it. Just as a guy that loves everything about the sport and about wrestling, and he wants to compete and have as many competitive opportunities out there on the mat. He's not going to sweat it too much if things don't go his way. And going to be this is really tough duty for Johnson from Penn State, but the fans here at Bryce Jordan got an opportunity to see their team win and clinch the duel. But this is also a treat here to see one of the best wrestlers in the world that has such a great future ahead of them in the sport going to do his magic too.
He's all about competing. And the Big Ten Championships coming up in Iowa City, March 5th and 6th. The NCAA Championships at Madison Square Gardens, March 17th, 18, and 19. He'll turn around, train, and look for the Olympic trials April 9th and 10th back in Carver, Hawkeye. His own personal road to Rio. Kyle Snyder, a lot of wrestling in front of him, as a few other current wrestlers and a lot of recent past wrestlers from the Big Ten vying for Rio.
Yeah, the amount of wrestlers that we're talking about, maybe have an opportunity to do something special for them and showcase that. But it is a lot of guys. You take a look at some of the guys that Reese Humphrey that made the world team. You got Tony Ramos who made the world team. Reese Humphrey from Ohio State.
Jimmy Kennedy from Illinois.
Exactly. You've got guys that are, you got James Green, right, from Nebraska.
Of course, Jordan Burroughs.
Yep.
#1 ranked in his weight class, and
I always got to kind of get a kick out of it that the Nebraska team last year was 10th in the nation in the NCAA's, but they were 9th in the world with the team of Burroughs and Green with their placing. One of those guys both of them without any eligibility. But
Snyder going back to his corner, and in his first season for the Scarlet and Gray, he went 30-4. He was the Big Ten and NCAA runner-up at 197, and what a year that is for a true freshman, but then goes ahead a few months later, wins a world championship.
Yeah, well then he beats out Jake Varner, the Olympic champion who trains here at the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. That's not an insignificant achievement. Jake Varner is a tough guy to score, and he was also at that Yarygin tournament in Russia and finished second to the...
They both got beat by the same guy.
Same guy, yeah. And that's all the accusations that came out here about the kind of the state-sponsored steroid use and all that stuff that the Russians had, and it's kind of like one of those things that it's really unfortunate.
And you see Snyder's toe still inbounds, so he gets to score 4 points out of bounds there. Not really out of bounds, because as long as any part of either wrestler's body is inbounds, you can score. You can even get a pin on outside the wrestling area. And so with the tilt, he gets 4 back points out in front, 16-5. Snyder, who last year in the semis beat the defending champion, Jaden Cox from Missouri. And then Kyban Gatson from Iowa State with the big fall in the finals for the Cyclone, the NCAA champion Kyban Gatson. Up against Snyder at a heavyweight now, and that's where we'll see him as long as he's in the Scarlet and Gray.
And what the type of heavyweight he is going to be is going to be the guy that's constantly on the attack and continue to scramble well. And it's not a given, but like Kyle said in the interview, that he's looking forward to wrestling Gwizdowski, the returning national champion.
There's your Cliff Keen, outstanding wrestler. He got Ohio State out to a big start Nathan Tomasello with a win over one of the best at 125, Nico Megaludis. What a great matchup. What a great match between two really great wrestlers. Nico Megaludis, 3-time All-American. Nathan Tomasello, the NCAA champion. Nathan Tomasello, your Cliff King, outstanding wrestler.
You know, that match had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I mean, there wasn't any, there's just such small room to get your offense off with those two great wrestlers. And so how do you, when's it going to happen? So Snyder working hard now for the tech ball. He's going to go ahead and probably likely to give an escape or maybe work a quick side tilt. I'm just going to go ahead and give the escape, so that makes it 12-point lead.
And he's going to try to finish it here with a continued barrage of scoring. Kyle Snyder now up 22-8, and that's a 14-point lead. One more escape and a takedown for Kyle Snyder would finish it off with the tech fall. 5 points on the board for Ohio State, but still the win for the undefeated Nittany Lions from Penn State. They keep their #1 ranking. They'll represent the Big Ten in the NWCA National Duels on September 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the BTN Live.
Yeah, you can see why. Why Penn State, was in this meet could have gone another direction. If you see the bonus points that Snyder is able to go ahead and potentially put up here, that's 5. This makes it 14. That makes it a 10-point swing. Well, if you get the turnaround at 133, which was a close bout for quite some time, and then when you turn around at maybe at 74, a close bout. But there's your world champion back on the mat, going to be taking it all the way.